Hello and welcome to another Try Your Hand. Today we are going to be making a string art project. In your kit you will be given a piece of wood, a template of the seahorse, some sandpaper, you'll have some nails, and some string. What you will need to provide will be a hammer and then some tape to tape the template down. Before you tape the template, you're going to take your sandpaper. We're going to want to smooth the wood out. Well, first take a look at your wood. This is aspen wood, and I chose aspen because I thought it was a really pretty wood. It doesn't have a lot of knots or anything in it. It's really nice and smooth. And it's soft enough for us to be able to nail into it without having to really pound real hard. You're going to want to take your sandpaper and just lightly go over your wood, always going with the grain. You can see the grain on there, so you're going to just sand the surface. We'll take a look at your wood and see which side you want to use. They're pretty much the same. This side of mine has a little knot in it here, and I didn't want to use that side. I actually practiced on this side, but so I'm using this side of the wood that has no knots or blemishes on it, and we're just going to sand it lightly. You want to go over the edges just a little bit because you want to take away any loose pieces that are on there that might splinter. Do the sides of your wood. Get both edges nice and smooth. It just gives it a nice finished look. So we've done all the parts of the wood that go with the grain. Now we're going to do the edges that were where the piece was cut, and just smooth that out nicely. Now if you wanted to, you could stain this wood or you could paint it, but I do like the way that the wood looks. So I've decided for this project to just use the bare wood. I like that look. And it doesn't take a lot. Again, you'll want to get the edges on the cut sides. Might as well do the edges along the back too. You don't really need to sand the back of the wood, but any side that's exposed, you want to make sure that's nice and smooth. So now we have a nice sanded piece of wood. It is slightly longer than it is wide, just by about ½ inch or so. So with the grain going up and down, take your template and we're going to tape that down. Center it nicely on the piece of wood and tape it down. I'm going to change the camera view now so you can get a better look at how I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to take our template and center it on our piece of wood. Center it along the sides and along the top of bottom where you want it. And then just take a couple pieces of tape and tape it on there so it doesn't shift while you're nailing the nails on. And what you're going to want to do is start from the top and work your way down, because you don't want to go along the pattern, because then you're going to find that it's going to be difficult to get into some of the areas where you need to nail. So just do it, just work from top to bottom, being aware of making sure that you're not trapping yourself in keeping a nail, being able to reach a nail. The nails that I'm using, that I gave you in your kits, are bright wire nails, 3/4 inches long. So we're just going to start at the top, Go ahead and hammer them in. It doesn't take a lot to get it in. And you also, the blue dots tell you where to put the nails, but it doesn't have to be exactly in the center. Just get as close as you can, but it's not. It works out fine if you're in the blue dot, but it doesn't have to be exact center. And you want them in solid, but you don't have to put them in real thick. I mean, real deep, I should say. And like that one got a little crooked, so you can just tap it up. You want them to be straight. And I'll show you how to get them all the same height once I have a few more in here. So when you have a number of them nailed in, if you just want to go over the top, and I've got several nails that I'm hitting at the same time, and that just brings them all to the same height on the wood. Okay, now all the nails are in there. They're all in there solid. If you see any that look a little lopsided, you can just use your fingers to push them up straight, but they should be in far enough that they won't come out. You can just kind of rub your hands over it, check them, make sure they're in there solid. Also notice you're going to get some residue from the nails on your hand. I would suggest at this point that you go wash your hands, because you don't want to get that on the wood and you don't want to get it on your string. It's going to get it all dirty. So we're going to stop for a moment and wash our hands. All right, now that our hands are clean, we're going to go ahead and remove the template. Oh dear. And look, I've started and some of my nails are coming out, which means they were not pounded in far enough. We're going to try that again. So you can't just like rip it off like that, because then more of your nails are going to fall off. So just tear it off, but your nails should be firmly in there. Now if you have some pieces that are hard to get to, you can take a tweezers or a needle nose pliers, something like that, to pull those out. Okay, try it a different way and pull that out. So there you have your seahorse with just the nails. Next you're going to take your string, unwind it a bit, and decide where you're going to start. Some nail art projects have a pattern that you have to follow, but this is more of a freehand pattern. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm going to start here and just wrap the string around the nail a few times and tie a knot in it. This is crochet thread that I got. Could really use any type of string that you want, but this is a nice thickness, and it comes in a lot of different colors too. So tie that, and then we're going to cut this extra off. So we'll cut it off, not all the way to the knot because you want to keep it secure, but make a very short tail on the string. And For extra security, you could put a drop of glue on that knot to hold it on there secure. So then kind of set in your mind how you want to progress from here. I'm going to do the head part first, and it's perfectly fine to go over the same nail several times. In fact, you'll need to do that in order to get it filled up. What I like to do is outline the outside of the seahorse, and then I've done a few like that, and then I like to go and use a different nail and fill in the inside of it. Just because you went over it once doesn't mean you can't do it again. Okay, so once you feel like you've got your design complete, you've got everything filled in that you want filled in, and as you see, I went back and forth to different areas that I wanted more string. Like right there, I think I want another string right there. So there's um, no hard and fast rules on how you do it, but once you get to the end, then you simply tie it in a knot where you've ended. Some extra string, so I'm going to cut that off and make my knot around that nail. And again, I would suggest putting a piece of glue on your knot just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. I'll do a double knot there, and then I'll glue it. And take the string off of there, and there you have your seahorse. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again next month. Bye.